Hey everybody, Academic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about quiet quitting and why quiet quitting is not going away. If you have learned anything in the last couple of years from when the pandemic started, that is life is no longer as it was. That economies are changing rapidly, perception is changing rapidly in both companies' minds and in employees' minds. Things are changing very rapidly. What we used to value, we don't value anymore. What we used to not value, we're starting to value. And things are changing fast. And what we're left with, here, I'm going to sit down here, is just a bunch of abandoned buildings, just a bunch of abandoned office buildings that right now, companies, let's get this set up right here, make it nice and cozy. Companies are trying desperately to get employees to come back to the workplace, but they're unable to. And the reason why is because they have gotten a taste of freedom. And you're seeing a massive movement all around the country right now, all over the internet, of new hashtags where quiet quitting is being disciplined. They're going to start getting rid of quiet quitters. But quite frankly, you're smarter than that. And you know how to make it work to where you can still work, but you're not doing that extra. I've seen tons of videos about this, or not videos. I'm sorry, nobody's really talking about this, but these companies are out there trying to punish the quiet quitting movement, and it moved fast. Why did that hashtag move fast? Well, the reason why is because it resonated with so many of you. That's why I started the side hustle course. If you're interested, I'll put a link below. But it's because people need to know how to make money on the side, how to diversify their employment. And that is very, very vital. When an economy starts to roll over and turn negative, it is very vital that people have diversity when it comes to their streams of income, right? So many people get caught up in economic collapses. And we'll use the last one, the Great Recession, as an example, where somebody might have been working in the mortgage industry and was doing great for 10 years. Instantaneously, they were fired. Everything ended that in one day. And they were told, sorry, pick up your belongings and you have to leave. You're instantly treated like a criminal, quite frankly, and you're walked out of the office. Why? You didn't have anything wrong. It's because the economy turned. And because that was your only job and you were doing great, you almost got fat, dumb, and happy for a while. And then all of a sudden, everything gets taken away. And before you know it, your car is being repossessed and your home's being taken away because you didn't think ahead of time. Well, what happened 2 years ago was the greatest blessing ever and the greatest awakening of the United States and other countries' workforces that has ever happened, I believe, in the last 100 years. And that was they were given time to go home and think, still get their paycheck, and be able to broaden their horizons to the possibility of the fact that economic crisis happens every 7 to 10 years. Then we either go through recessions or we go through crashes, and I'd better be prepared. So people all around the country started their own businesses. And what they started to do is pull back and regress in the way that they looked at their current employment situation. You see, so many people thought that if I work up the company ladder and I get promotions, I'm going to have a good retirement. I'm going to be happier. When in all reality, the higher you go up in the corporate ladder, yes, you have some benefits, but a lot of the times you have so much added stress and it's just not worth the extra pay. So a lot of people started to figure out, well, hey, why don't I do this? Why am I striving to show up, be the first one there and the last one to leave? Why don't I just show up on time and leave when the day is over and I'm no longer being paid? Why am I spending the weekends on the phone when I should be at home with my children and family, my wife or my husband, and enjoying them rather than being on the phone answering other people's problems at work when it's my day off? I'm not getting paid for this. They started to regress and go, you know what? That extra time that I'm not showing up super early or going home late that night is the time that I'm going to invest in me. I'm going to start to read books. I'm going to start to look online for different alternative ways of making money. And a lot of people have a hard time learning, how to make money. They say, oh, it's not for me. I'm not an entrepreneur. But in all reality, it's literally as easy as starting at a garage sale and buying something and reselling it. I know it sounds crazy, but it is literally that easy. It's just one step. Then you make some money and then you buy a little bit more. Then you sell some more and you make more money. And then you go, well, you know what, this is working. Why don't I get a little business license? Then I start talking about taxes. And then before you know it, I've got one heck of an operation going. Well, we have seen thousands and thousands of people do that very thing all around the world really, but I'm talking about just America. And I think it's exciting because this country was built on entrepreneurs that started small businesses, a barbershop that turned into literally Fantastic Sam's, right? A cobbler that turned into Nike, a painting contractor that started selling paint instead of painting homes and turned into Sherwin-Williams. You see where I'm going with this? Every massive business that you do business with right now started out as a sole proprietorship. Very few companies start as big corporations where a bunch of people put in money. And quite frankly, if it did, all those people that put in the big money, originally they all started as a sole proprietor. And you have the ability just like them. You are no different than all of them. The only difference is one day they took action. They said, let's do it. You have to remember, Kentucky Fried Chicken was started by Colonel Sanders, not when he was young, but when he was 64 years old. He had so many failures. As a matter of fact, so many people told him, friends and family, which I'm going to be honest with you, weren't very good friends, told him to give it up. You're a failure. You keep losing. And he just went from loss to loss to loss until he started something that took off like crazy. And he built generational wealth in the last part of his life. Age should not restrict you from what's going on right now. And right now, companies are so scared. They're so freaked out that people are quiet quitting and they're not getting extra. They want extra out of you, more than what they're paying you for, outside of your job description. Matter of fact, in my job, they're doing that right now. They're trying to get me to do more than what they hired me based on 20 years ago. And the fact of the matter is, people are going, I'm done. And the companies are so scared that they're starting propaganda, literally putting out commercials and news articles saying, you are going to be found out and you're going to be fired. Well, you know what the great news about quiet quitting is? And not doing the extra, not going the extra mile, but yet investing in yourself. So you have a clear mind, money in your bank account, and you have goals that you're achieving is if you do what you were hired to do, you can't get fired. Now, sure, companies can lay people off because they're having problems, but that's on them, not on you. But now the propaganda is getting heavy against those that want to make themselves better. That's what absolutely blows me away. And what's exciting about that is how you know you're on the right side. They're running scared. They can't fire you. They can't find you. Quiet quitting is a mental thing. It's you changing the way you look at yourself and your life and what you want to achieve in it. Guys, keep crushing it. If you guys want to link to the class below, I'll put it below. But regardless of that, I want to see you keep crushing it. The Economic Ninja is out. Enjoy all this empty office space.